Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video, I go through the latest news on Alpha 3.9 and its Wave 1 release. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, with a big shout out to Gyun for upping his pledge and to Espen Wisser for becoming my latest patron. Your support is very much appreciated, and if you do enjoy my content and would like to help even further, be sure to follow the links in the description below. So as you probably are aware, Alpha 3.9 is now in Wave 1, which is concierge and subscribers only. This does mean that the NDA is now lifted and we are free to share our content. I have already put out a few videos, which I will link my 3.9 playlist below, should you want to check them out. Let me just first explain, before we look at the patch notes for Wave 1, what the sort of deal is. As you know, CIG has held on to the 3.9 build for longer than normal, keeping it in ENQUIRIES for two reasons. Number one, they wanted to make sure the build was as stable and as playable as possible, and number two, they were experiencing a lot of desync issues which they were trying to investigate and resolve. Now, the ENQUIRIES builds were up to 3.9.0. Now, I will say there appears to be a lot of known issues in this patch notes, but there is nothing talking about the desync, so I really hope that they have managed to reduce this as much as possible, or even eradicated it, which is highly unlikely, but fingers crossed. With that, I would expect Wave 1 to have more issues than normal, as CIG were probably not really ready to drop it, but, you know, due to the demand they wanted to, I think. But I'm happy about that. Now, I believe this is the 3.90 patch, rather than the rolled back end patch, so let's go through the patch notes and see what is going on. Firstly, testing focus has not changed at all. It is still remaining with what it was in the ENQUIRIES builds. Some known issues, I will just read off a few of them. Ships spawned at Area 18 immediately explode, so we're to avoid that landing zone. All ship loadouts are locked and cannot be customized unless you do that in the hangar first. Missiles and torpedoes are unlikely to reach their target if the target is above 1,000 meters away. Players can get stuck on the loading screen upon leaving prison. Ground vehicles cannot be spawned using the ASOP terminals. The character changes do not persist into the PU. Static trains may appear at all landing zones, you know, like additional trains. The contact notification window may get stuck in the main menu, and being in a large party may cause the markers not to display correctly. So there's quite a few known issues. This is still Wave 1, so, you know, there will be known issues and problems. It is the PTU. I will keep reporting these and trying to reproduce them and hopefully getting them resolved, but do bear in mind it's probably going to be quite a buggy build. So what is new? Microtech's clothing range, new Babbage landing zone interior, the Klesha automated prisons, Microtech's moons, Calliope, Euterpe and Clio, caves and cave missions on Microtech and its moons. They've added food and drink to shops around the verse, the new Caterpillar prisoner transport mission, mining laser sub-items, volatile mineable ore, two new surface harvestables. I don't know what these are yet, we'll have to check them out. The new weapon attachment, being able to swap it in your hand. The actor status system, so hunger, thirst and temperature with environmental effects. The Asperia Prowler, the Asperia Light Strike and Deadbolt cannons. The new contact list and party system, and the new radial menu for personal inner thought interactions. They have also updated geological aspects of various places with new visuals, added size 1 gimbals to all the shops that carry the gimbals, adjusted the atmosphere density of Arcorp and Hurston. They've adjusted the arrival radius for Lagrange points from 120 kilometers to 70 kilometers. Comarays are now closer to planets and moons to reduce their monitoring radius. They've updated many kiosk screens to look more branded. I assume this is using the building blocks, which is good because they've made great progress there. They've increased Levski's exterior brightness, increased criminal mission payouts by 50%, added infractions to immediately impound player ships that collide with ships who have the right to be within a landing zone, which explains how they're cracking down on pad ramming, and the threshold to obtain level 4 and 5 crime stats have been shifted. Whether that's increased or decreased, I don't know. AI can also now use greater speed ranges and improved avoidance. Now, there are some other updates to what is coming in that's new. I'm only including some of the big ones, or the big ticket items that I think are really important. Some updates for ships. The forwards, backwards can now be assigned to axis. They've added missile incoming alerts to building blocks based ship HUDs. They've added a small screen for medbay interactions in the 890 jump. Don't know what that will bring. The Argo Mole can now attach size 1 lasers. They've reduced the gravity compensation in partial landing to make landing easier, and they've added rain canopy effects or visual effects to a lot of ships. Bug fixes wise, again, I'm not going to go through them all. There are a lot more left, but ones that I think are important. They've fixed an issue that was causing the player wallet to get set to 0 UEC after character wipes and database resets. Cryastro repair services should now work normally without the need to hover prior to landing. Traveling to OM1 should now send the player to the correct location and not to the center of Stanton. And the Karak upper command ship controls should now have a HUD. As I say, many more. I have linked all of the patch notes in the description below, so if you are wanting to check stuff out for yourself, by all means do so. The duplicated ships in the fleet manager does not appear to be amongst these bug fixes. Hopefully they will get to that as soon as possible. But that is the latest information with the current Wave 1 patch. I will be jumping in today and getting a lot of recording done for upcoming videos, so I will let you know what the actual state is. But it is great to have this in our hands finally. Do make sure you subscribe for more 3.9 gameplay and information and news coming thick and fast. Hit that like button if you're happy that 3.9 is now released to Wave 1. And come and hang out over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers. We always have a good time hanging out together and just chatting or playing the game. Thank you to my patrons and channel members again. Cannot do this without you guys, so thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.